Greetings, philosophers. Today, we're tackling a juicy topic: Nietzsche on envy. That's right. We're going deep into the mind of Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher with a moustache that could rival a walrus, and ideas that hit like a lightning bolt. Envy, it's that green-eyed monster we've all felt at some point. But what did Nietzsche, one of the most provocative thinkers of all time, have to say about it? Let's unpack this together and see why envy isn't just a petty emotion, but a force that can shape who we are and how we move through the world. First off, let's set the stage. Nietzsche wasn't your average philosopher sitting in an ivory tower stroking his beard. Though, let's be honest, he had the beard for it. He was a rebel, a poet, a guy who wanted to shake up the way we think about life. He didn't just want to describe the world. He wanted to challenge us to live boldly, to create, to become something greater. And envy? Well, for Nietzsche, it's not just about wanting what someone else has. It's a window into the human soul, a clue to what drives us, and sometimes what holds us back. So what is envy? We all know the feeling. You see your friend land a dream job, and there's that little pang in your chest. Or someone posts a picture of their perfect vacation on social media, and suddenly your cozy night in feels less cozy. Envy is that bitter twinge when you compare yourself to someone else and feel like you're coming up short. But Nietzsche, being Nietzsche, doesn't just stop at calling it a negative feeling. He digs deeper. He sees envy as a symptom of something bigger, a struggle within us, a battle between our desires and our sense of self. For Nietzsche, envy is tied to what he called ressentiment. Now, that's a fancy French word, but don't let it scare you off. It's basically a deep, smouldering resentment, a kind of toxic stew that brews when we feel powerless or inferior. Imagine you're scrolling through your feed, seeing everyone else's highlight reel, and you start thinking, why not me? Why don't I have that? That's ressentiment creeping in. Nietzsche thought this was especially common in societies built on equality, or at least the idea of it. When we're told everyone's equal, but we see some people soaring while others struggle, envy bubbles up. It's like the world's promising you a seat at the table, but someone else keeps getting the bigger slice of cake. Here's where Nietzsche gets really interesting. He doesn't just say envy is bad and we should all just get over it. No, he sees it as a double-edged sword. On one hand, envy can be a poison. It can make us bitter, small, and obsessed with tearing others down. Think about the tabloids or those shady corners of the internet where people revel in someone else's downfall. Nietzsche would call that the slave morality at work. People who feel weak or stuck, lashing out because they can't rise up themselves. It's like crabs in a bucket, pulling each other back down so no one escapes. But, and this is a big but, Nietzsche also saw a flip side. Envy, when it's harnessed, can be a spark. It can wake you up, make you hungry, push you to strive for something more. Picture an artist who sees a rival's masterpiece and thinks, I can do better. That's not just envy, that's fuel. Nietzsche was all about becoming your best self, what he called the Übermensch, the person who overcomes their limits and creates something extraordinary. Envy, in this sense, can be a signal. It's your soul whispering, hey, you want more out of life? Go get it. Let's pause for a second and think about that. Have you ever felt envy and let it eat you up? Maybe you stewed over someone's success instead of chasing your own. Or maybe, just maybe, you felt that sting and used it to light a fire under you. Nietzsche would say the difference between those two paths is everything. It's the difference between being a victim of your emotions and using them to become something greater. Now, Nietzsche wasn't exactly handing out self-help manuals. He wasn't going to give you a 5-step plan to conquer envy. He was more like a philosopher with a sledgehammer, smashing through comfortable ideas to make you face the raw truth. And the truth about envy for him is that it's tied to power. Not power like being a dictator or a CEO, but the power to create your own life, your own values. When you're envious, it's often because you feel like someone else has something you're missing. Not just stuff, but a sense of vitality, of purpose. Nietzsche's challenge is stop looking at them and start looking at yourself. What do you want? What's stopping you? This is where Nietzsche gets a bit wild. He thought a lot of what fuels envy comes from the way we're taught to think. He blamed Christianity for one. Sorry if that ruffles feathers, but hear me out. Nietzsche argued that Christian values, like humility and turning the other cheek, could sometimes trap people in a mindset of weakness. It's like we're taught to be content with less, to accept our lot, and when we see someone breaking free, living big, we get envious because deep down we want that freedom too. But instead of going for it, we might just grumble or judge. Nietzsche's not saying religion itself is the problem. He's saying any system that makes you feel small can feed that envious fire. So how do we deal with envy in a Nietzschean way? First, you've got to own it. Don't pretend you're above it. We're all human. Envy's not a sin. It's a signal. It's telling you what you value, what you crave. The trick is to flip it. Instead of hating on someone else's success, ask yourself, what's my version of that? What's my masterpiece, my adventure, my big win? Nietzsche would say to channel that energy into creating, into building something that's yours. He was obsessed with the idea of life as art. Your life is your canvas, and envy's just a nudge to pick up the brush. Let's bring this home with a story. Imagine two painters. One sees the other's work in a gallery, and it's breathtaking. The first painter could go home, sulk, and bad-mouth their rival. That's the ressentiment talking. Or they could hit the studio, fueled by that spark of envy, and paint something that pushes their own limits. Nietzsche's betting on the second painter. That's the one who's living, who's creating, who's saying yes to life. Before we wrap up, let's make this real. Next time you feel that pang of envy, maybe it's your co-worker's promotion or your neighbour's shiny new car, don't just push it down. Look at it. Ask what it's telling you. Are you jealous of their stuff, or is it something deeper? Maybe it's their confidence, their freedom, their hustle. Then ask yourself, what's one step I can take toward my own version of that? Nietzsche's not asking you to become a superhero overnight. He's asking you to start, to move, to create. And that's the thing about Nietzsche. He doesn't let you off the hook. Envy's not just a feeling, it's a challenge. It's a chance to decide who you're going to be. Are you going to let it drag you down, or are you going to use it to climb? That's the question he leaves us with, and it's one worth chewing on. Until next time, keep wrestling with the big ideas, and don't be afraid to feel the sting. It might just be the push you need.